is here on the Blaze Radio Network.
And welcome to it. Great to have you with us. Thanks for being here. 888-900-3393. Pat Unleashed on Twitter. Should we go over let's just quickly glance over because we got a lot to get to today. But there is a new bingo sheet, new bingo card, and it's pinned to the top of Pat Gray Unleashed.
Pat Unleashed on Twitter.
On
yes,
Twitter.
Sir.
It's been a long time. I haven't been here since Wednesday. So it starts in the upper left-hand corner. By the way, when you win, you want to be the first to call 888-900-3393, and you'll win the $30 worth of merchandise from PatGrayShop.com and a dozen Kexi cookies from Kexi.com. So it starts with me. It's on like Donkey Kong. Facts are facts from Jeffy. Biden. The blood of liberty.
The blood of liberty.
I'm not judging their soul, but usually follows. I'm just saying they're going to burn in the fires of hell. Hit you right where you live. Then in the next column, 15 minutes of content jammed into 2 hours. The Soviet national anthem.
Oh, boy.
Oh, okay. Well, I guess we're keeping things short. Keith says,
trust the process.
James Carville.
LBGQT plus or whatever it is.
Jeffy, that's a big guy show. Obama, that's just how white folks will do you.
Oh, gosh.
Even CNN. We need to do something, anything, instead of doing the right thing. Chris mentions gate guarding.
All right.
J.D. Vance.
I don't really care, Margaret.
But
Keith.
Oh, no. Oh, the Bernie voice.
Okay.
One believes?
One believes.
Oh, that Representative Meeks guy.
Play that again. What is that?
One believes?
Okay.
That was fun.
Jeffy, have a nice day. Fetterman.
No.
Me saying 6, 8 weeks, months. Could be 6, 8, anything. Movie equals documentary. That's not me saying movie equals documentary. That's like, have you seen the documentary and then it's a movie kind of thing. I would guess. I think that's what that means. Chris.
That's what she said.
Al Roker, poop my pants. I do have that one. You don't have that?
You pooped in your pants.
I pooped my pants.
I pooped my pants. Yeah. Keith?
What, liberal weenie voice?
But Trump did this.
Yeah, okay.
Okay. And then liberals eating their own.
Awesome.
Which we enjoy a great deal. Just got back from Orlando. I was gone on Wednesday and Thursday. We went to Disney the first day, Disney World, because we were staying at a Disney property at the Dolphin Hotel, which was kind of interesting because 35 years ago, almost to the day, Glenn and I opened that place. We were there June 4th, 1990, for the grand opening. So,
cool.
Yeah. Anyway, we spent that first day at Epcot. Got there Wednesday evening. Had just a really nice dinner on the boardwalk. I mean, it was perfect weather.
Oh, wow.
It was so beautiful.
Oh, good. I was worried about that.
When we first got there, it was fantastic. Until Thursday.
Oh, no.
So the next morning.
Oh, no.
It was so stinking hot.
Really?
Oh my gosh. It was, it was unbearable, really. When Al said
2 kilometers or so down, in most places there are these incredibly hot rocks because the interior of the Earth is extremely hot, several million degrees.
The only problem with that was it's not several kilometers down.
Okay.
It just happens to be Orlando, Florida, that is several million degrees. Several million degrees. At least it felt like it. When you're walking around all day in that burning hot sun, fortunately I was wearing SPF 43,600,000.
Oh, that's good.
So I could have been standing inside, not on the surface of the sun, but in the interior of the sun, and I wouldn't have gotten burned. But it
worked well.
So hot.
Man, how was the humidity? I hate to ask.
It was about like it has been here. It wasn't that bad.
Yeah, it was rough this weekend.
Was
actually.
During the weekend?
It was very noticeable here this weekend. Yeah.
Then on Friday, we went to the Epic Universe, Universal's new theme park. It's a beautiful park. It is. I loved the Harry Potter world. What are the wizarding world of Harry Potter, or whatever they call it. And the ride was open. It did open like they said it was going to on Friday.
Good, man.
But.
Oh, no.
And I'm talking a Jeffy-sized butt here. So it's substantial.
Sure. Yeah, I mean.
We had to wait in line for 4 hours to get to it. 4 hours. Nothing is worth that kind of wait. I don't think any ride on the planet is worth that kind of. They could have a ride where when you get to the front of the line, you get in the vehicle and they create a wormhole where space is folded and it instantly transports you to a planet in the Andromeda galaxy where dinosaurs still roam the planet, but they can't hurt you. And while you're enjoying that view, they feed you Kobe steak and lobster. And when you're done petting the T-Rex and you finished eating, you're safely transported back to the park. But if I had to wait 4 hours for that, I'd say that ride sucked. that is the worst. So it's not the worst ride. It's not. It's a pretty good ride. It's just not worth a 4. You know, if we had waited a normal amount of time.
What's that? What do you think?
Hour.
You give it an hour? Okay.
You know, 45 minutes, an hour. That's understandable. Maybe 90 minutes, but 4 hours, no. And in fact, we'd been in line for 3 hours, 45 minutes, got to the very front of the line.
Oh, no.
We're standing there. We're literally the next group to go.
No, don't tell me.
It broke down.
I knew it!
I was thinking at the time, if I just stood in this line for nearly 4 hours and we don't get on this thing, I will wind up being arrested because it will not. I won't be able to control myself.
Oh, no. So what
Fortunately,
happened?
about 15 minutes later, they got it back up. And so we got on. And it's fun. It's good.
Uh-oh.
But it's not a 4-hour wait kind of place, you know? On Saturday, on our way to the airport, we checked the wait time online. It was 5 hours. A full 300-minute wait to get on that ride.
My goodness. No.
Then when we got to the airport, our flight was delayed 4 hours. So it was a 4-hour kind of trip.
Bro.
But, as much as I liked the Harry Potter thing, because everything's on a much bigger scale than it is at the other Harry Potter place in Universal, at their other park. But my favorite area was the Monsters area. You heard about it?
Monsters Inc.?
It's
not
Monsters Inc. Yeah. It's Frankenstein, Dracula, the swamp monster.
Oh, wow. No, I haven't heard this.
Yeah, it's Frankenstein's village, and it's really cool. And then there's Frankenstein's castle, which is gigantic.
And these are rides?
There's a ride in Frankenstein's castle. Huh. And that was incredible because we got right on it, and it was really good. Really good.
Wow.
In that village, they have a huge windmill that bursts into flame every 15 minutes. All the parts of the windmill burst into flame.
Wow.
And then it does that a few times, and then it just turns off. It's really kind of cool.
That's fun.
But noticed at the Orlando airport, even the TSA bins are Disney related. They were Lilo and Stitch bins to put your stuff in.
Oh, wow.
When you're at security. Our main thing, though, for going on this trip was to go to Gideon's. Have you ever heard of Gideon's? The cookie place, Gideon's Bakery?
No.
It's pretty famous. They do a lot of business. I understand they make like $40,000 a day, like a $14 million a year cookie establishment.
And I've never heard of it.
It's in Disney Springs.
Oh,
and we had to wait 35 minutes just to get a cookie. They limit the number of cookies you can have to 8. You could have 8 per person. It's pretty decent business they've got going there. Yeah. I'm sure it's really expensive to be in Disney Springs, the overhead.
Yeah.
But when you're making $14 million, you could probably handle it. It's probably pretty good. They have a really cool motif. It looks like a Tim Burton type place. It's Halloween oriented, but all year long. But the cookies were good. You'll probably think I'm biased, and I am, but ours are better. And we don't do $14 million a year.
Yeah.
I can tell you that. Not yet, but maybe someday. All right. Let me tell you about when a mother with an unplanned pregnancy is trying to decide about the future of her precious unborn child. It's really overwhelming. I mean, obviously she wants to make the right choice, but society and a lot of people around her probably telling her that her baby is not life. It's just a clump of cells. Well, Preborn's whole ministry is to love these women and empower them with the choice of life. And it's an eternal moment. Meet Stephanie, who was scared and afraid, felt she didn't deserve love and support. But after receiving so much love and support from a caring clinic, she experienced her eternal moment when she met her child on an ultrasound. She left the clinic feeling hopeful and now is so blessed by her 5-year-old son. So these are the kinds of stories that you can help bring about. When you support Preborn, you're supporting pro-life clinics nationwide with free ultrasounds to help empower a mother to choose life. Your tax-deductible donation of $28 a month is reaching eternity. So to get involved, just dial pound 250, say the keyword baby. That's pound 250, keyword baby, or go to preborn.com/pass.
Pat Gray is Unleashed.
Yes. Welcome to it. So yesterday it was announced that former President Joe Biden, this is sad, has an aggressive form of prostate cancer. Stage 4, in fact, and it's, from what I heard, already gone into his bones. Mm-hmm. In 2022, did he already know about that?
And because it was a 4-lane highway that was accessible, my mother drove us, and rather than us be able to walk. And guess what?
What?
The first frost, you know what was happening? You had to put on your windshield wipers to get literally the oil slick off the window.
What?
That's why I and so damn many other people I grew up have cancer. And why can't for the longest time, Delaware had the highest cancer rate in the nation.
I remember him saying that, and we were like, wait, did he just say he has cancer and we didn't know about that? So I'll bet he did. I'll bet he knew.
Of course he knew.
Yeah.
I mean, you don't get to stage 4 and have the access to the best health care in the world as the president of the United States.
Right.
And there's all of a sudden, poof, oh, look.
Hey.
I got stage 4 prostate cancer. It's down on my bones now. Just another thing they hid from us. Yep. And feels like a chosen time to reveal it.
Sure does. President Trump posted this. Melania and I are saddened to hear about Joe Biden's recent medical diagnosis. We extend our warmest and best wishes to Jill and the family and wish Joe a fast and successful recovery. Mm-hmm. So,
yeah, I think we all wish a fast and successful recovery.
Yep, we don't wish that on anybody. No. Now, if this was Donald Trump, you know that his haters would be gleefully going over this and mocking. And wishing for his demise.
Yeah, I mean, he still has a lot to account for, treason being among them. So he still has to stand trial and hopefully serve time in a federal pen. I can at least hope and dream. So, yes, please do recover, sir.
And this news on Sunday came on the heels of the Friday drop of the Hurr interview.
Interesting timing again.
Isn't it, though?
Huh. So the Hurr audio comes out on Friday, and then the news that he has stage 4 cancer comes out on Sunday.
Yeah, interesting. How about that? So he apparently forgot when his son Bo died, mumbled incoherently. Here's a clip from that audio where he's getting the timeline of Bo's death completely wrong.
So during this time, we were living in Chambers Road, and there were documents related to the Penn Biden Center or the Biden cancer failure shot or your book. Where did you keep papers that related to those things that you were actively working on?
Where'd you keep those papers, bro?
Well,
yeah.
I don't know. This is what, 2017, 18, that area?
Yes, sir.
Remember, in this time frame, my son is either been deployed or is dying.
No, he died in 2015.
And
either deployed or dying.
And so it was.
Hello?
And by the way, there were still a lot of people at the time when I got out of the Senate that were encouraging me to run in this period, except the president. That's not a mean thing to say, but he just thought that she had a better shot of winning the presidency than I did. Oh. And so I hadn't at this point, even though I'm at Penn, I hadn't walked away from the idea that I might run for office again. So if I ran again, I'd be running for president. And so what was happening though, what month did Bo die? May 30th, 2015. Was it 2015 he died?
Oh my God.
It was 2015.
So he didn't know.
I'm not sure the months are, but I think
Was that Jill that told him?
That's right, Mr. President.
And what's happened in the meantime is that
the hell?
And Trump gets elected in November of 2017? 16.
Oh my gosh!
All right.
What the?
So
He can never get a number right. He can never do it.
Why did I have 2017 here?
That's when you left office.
He has no idea.
January of 2017.
Okay.
Wow.
But that's when Trump gets sworn in.
Right.
January.
Right. Correct.
Okay. Yeah.
This is bad.
And in 2017, Bo had passed, and
yeah? Hello?
this is personal.
Yeah.
The genesis of the book and the title, Promise Me Dad, was
This is brutal.
Yep.
I know you're all close with your sons and daughters, but Bo was like my right arm, and that was my left. These guys were a year and a day apart, and they could finish each other's sentences. And Bo, I used to go home on the train in the period
Was Angelo there? Angie?
that I was still in the Senate.
Holy cow.
Anyway,
I've said too much. Anyway. Wow.
there was not pressure. Bo knew how much I adored him. And it sounds so. Everybody knew how close we were. I mean, there was not anybody in the world who wondered whether or not. Anyway.
Oh my God.
And so.
I'm wondering if it's time to take a break.
Yeah, let's take a break.
Let me just keep going to get it done.
Oh wow. Get it done. Cool.
How do they allow somebody in there to help him with this stuff? Wasn't this about his non-compliance with federal law in not having documents that are classified? And so you're trying to find out why he did what he did and where he was, where was his head at? And then you've got his wife in there helping him out? That is despicable. How did they allow that?
Yeah, I don't know.
He would never have come up with 2015 had she not told him. for Beau's death. And that's something, that kind of sticks in your head. I mean, especially if that's your right arm, you know what year he died. Come on. Wow, that's probably worse than I even imagined it was. That is he was a mess. Wow.
Yeah, but remember, during this time, that's when the press was telling us how cognitively superior.
So sharp.
He's so good.
Best communicator, blah, blah, blah. Can't keep up with him. Okay. And, of course, after it was revealed how clueless he was in that interview, he acted indignant.
There's even reference that I don't remember when my son died.
Right, which you
How
didn't.
the hell dare he raise that? Frankly, when I was asked the question, I thought to myself, wasn't any of their damn business.
Okay.
No, that's not what he was thinking.
This guy.
He was thinking, I don't have any idea when any of this stuff happened.
Yep.
And I don't know where we are right now. I don't know why I don't have any pants on at the present time. That's what he was thinking. Where are my pants? Anyway. Wow. All right. So we've got more audio from the Hurr interview coming up in overtime today. We'll share that with you. Meanwhile, Jake Tapper's new book being released tomorrow. Yeah, they always seem to come out on Tuesdays. I love this montage to remind everybody of how the media covered up for Joe Biden's mental acuity. You might remember some of these.
Start your tape right now, because I'm about to tell you the truth.
Ooh.
And F you if you can't handle the truth. This version of Biden is the best Biden ever.
Pause it for a second. How embarrassing is that?
Yeah.
And how ridiculous that nobody ever holds them accountable for that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Nobody ever brings that up. Well, except we are now. But
And I don't know exactly when that clip from Joe Scarborough was, but there was a primary happening at the bottom of the screen, so that was last spring. We had the best version of Joe Biden a year ago.
Best version. So insane. All right, let's see this.
Is the best Biden ever.
She knows so long as he was 9.
In fact, I think he's better than he's ever been.
President Biden has a photographic memory. His understanding and mastery of a complicated geopolitical situation is remarkable.
He is sharp, intensely probing, and detail-oriented and focused.
Jackie, are you here? Where's Jackie?
Oh, no. She's dead.
She was going to be here.
Jackie's
sitting,
dead.
2 feet from him across the table, and he was, intense.
Have trouble walking sometimes? Yeah, so did FDR. He wanted GD war.
But he's totally focused. He's very sharp. They say he's sharp in meetings and so on.
Very lucid, very well informed. Biden is stately, and he comes with gravitas. There hasn't been, as far as I know, a single claim that Biden made a mistake.
Ageism is an issue. Americans have a rich history of holding people's physical characteristics against them.
Wow.
Okay, you can ask African Americans.
He's older. That doesn't mean that he is unfit, and there's a lot of ageism there.
Now, this age attack, this obsession by the right.
Joe Biden may not be able to speak for himself the way that he used to.
They want to think to take on government if we get out of line, which they're talking again about, and that's him lying around.
I think people should be speaking up for Joe Biden.
Americans and reporters in the media are just judging him by a physical appearance, and it's horribly unfair. Age is an asset.
He showed exactly how with it he is.
The flip side of this coin is that he has a tremendous amount of wisdom and experience.
Have you heard any concerns from anyone who has met with President Biden about him seeming a little slower?
No.
More wild speculation from a bunch of people who have probably never been in a room with Joe Biden and certainly don't have medical degrees that I'm aware of.
You don't get paid for performance to be president. You don't. The job is not a job of endurance. I don't see Donald Trump out bike riding like Joe Biden.
It's the Hillary's email. All they have is that he's old. He can clear a dementia bar, and that's probably a win.
The media are not fair, and they're getting less and less fair, and things are frightening. You have Wall Street Journal running a horribly sourced piece saying that Biden is unfit.
Dubious Wall Street Journal report about the president's acuity.
Shoddy story by the Wall Street Journal questioning Biden's mental fitness.
Wall Street Journal story had a lot of flaws, as you said. But Sinclair, they didn't do any original reporting. They didn't follow up. They didn't do any work.
The hero of the today is Hurr Goldberg Poland, and is still, he is not here with us, but he's still being held by Hamas.
But a huge part of the Mueller report talks about Russian disinformation tactics. And one of the themes this election cycle is that Joe Biden is too old to lead. And so everyone is seizing upon this. And it is a classic disinformation tactic. And I think the best thing that we can do is to prepare the American people for this false narrative.
The blood of liberty.
Wow. There you go.
That is staggering.
Yep.
Staggering. Wow. To see it in succession like that, now that everybody is coming out of the woodwork saying, yeah, we knew. Yeah, we saw it. He had one aide who actually quit because he was so pissed off and upset that Biden was going to run again. That's how bad he was, that one of his aides quit because he knew he was completely gone.
Yeah. Yeah. And if not
hiding
or trying to hide his lack of mental acuity. Again, this cancer diagnosis. I've been thinking about this. Remember how he would always go over to Delaware and we're like, bro, what are you doing again? What are they doing to him in there?
Yeah.
I wonder if it had anything to do with prostate cancer treatment.
I wonder. All right, this July, there's a global summit of BRICS nations in Rio. The bloc of emerging superpowers, including China, Russia, India, and Iran, are meeting with the goal of displacing the U.S. dollar as the global currency. They're calling this the Rio Reset. As BRICS nations push forward with their plans, global demand for the U.S. dollar will decrease, bringing down the value of the dollars in your savings. So while that transition won't happen overnight, the Rio Reset in July marks a pivotal moment when BRICS objectives move decisively from theoretical toward inevitable reality. So you can learn right now if diversifying your savings into gold is right for you. Birch Gold can help you move your hard-earned savings into a tax-sheltered IRA in precious metals. Claim your free info kit on gold by texting my name, Pat, to the number 989898. They have an A-plus rating with the Better Business Bureau, tens of thousands of happy customers. Let Birch Gold arm you with free, no-obligation info kits on owning gold before July and the Rio Reset. Just text Pat to 989898 today.
Now, more of Pat Gray Unleashed.
Meanwhile, our current president, Donald Trump, tweeted this out last week. Walmart should stop trying to blame tariffs as the reason for raising prices throughout the chain. Walmart made billions of dollars last year, far more than expected. Between Walmart and China, they should, as is said, eat the tariffs and not charge valued customers anything. I'll be watching, and so will your customers. Okay.
How would we feel if Obama tweeted that out?
Oh, my gosh. Well, I feel the same way now. It pisses me off.
Yeah.
It really does. He's a capitalist. He knows they're not going to just eat the increase. They're not going to do that. Does he do that? No, he won't. He won't do that.
Yeah, that's not good. Scott Bessent, though, talked to the head of Walmart over the weekend, and they said that they would hold off on some of these things. So they did get progress in that respect.
Okay.
Trust the process.
Yeah.
I don't know, man.
I don't know.
like it, though.
I don't like it.
Yeah.
He's a capitalist. He knows. He knows how this works. Yeah. I mean, when it costs you more to bring the product to people, you're not going to lose your money. You're going to charge more eventually. I mean, sometimes you try to eat it as long as you can, but you can't do that forever. Yeah. And, maybe it is a little fast. Maybe that's the problem. And so holding off might be justified because they are coming down.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. But that's not my favorite tweet. Not my favorite one.
Not your favorite one,
No, no. All right, more coming up.
This is Pat Gray Unleashed.
Got a few tweets here. Sarah Barrett tweets, inquiring minds want to know, Pat, did the iPad make it home?
Oh, no.
Yes, it did this time.
Good.
It did this time. And that's somebody with a pretty good memory. Last time I went to Disney World, I left my iPad in, I think, our Uber driver's car. Or no, our rental car. Yeah, our rental car. And lo and behold, they had nobody turn it in. Huh.
Did you ever see any weird activity or anything? Like someone have access to
No,
your
I canceled everything.
Okay.
I shut it off. So
That's convenient.
yeah. Lone Wolf 2965. Joe rambled so much, even I forgot what the original question was.
Oh, no.
And from Sons of Thunder 44, the media ran a better defense for Joe than the 86 Bears. See, that was one of the best
85.
defenses.
85,
yeah, the 85 Bears. Yeah. Close, though. Close. The 86 Bears were still,
they're still
pretty good
yeah.
defense,
Right,
but not like 85. That's widely regarded, I think, as maybe the best defense of all time. Until the media and Joe Biden and covering up for that guy. That's so pathetic.
Mm-hmm.
But we didn't forget. Well, maybe everybody else on the planet did. We haven't forgotten, and we're going to keep reminding you too, because all these books now, all of a sudden, we're all about transparency. And Jake Tapper among them. It's just so great to watch. So after a handful of Republicans blocked the bill in the House Budget Committee, last night those same Republicans changed their votes to present, and the big, beautiful bill now heads to the House Rules Committee before it can be voted on by the full House. So here was Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent yesterday updating us on the tariff proposals that have been coming in from countries around the world.
I can tell you that with a few exceptions, the countries are coming with very good proposals for us. And I look at these proposals and they want to lower their tariffs. They want to lower their non-tariff barriers. Some of them have been manipulating their currency. They've been subsidizing industry and labor. And I look at these proposals and I think these are excellent proposals, but I wonder, how did we get here? How did the previous administrations allow this to happen to the American people?
I wondered that too. We should all be wondering that.
It's almost like previous administrations didn't care about this country or you or me.
It's almost like that. In fact, it is that way. He also talked about some positive signs in the economy.
There is the potential growth of the debt, but what's more important is that we grow the economy faster. So what we've seen under the past 4 years, and what we inherited, I inherited 6.7% deficit to GDP, which was the highest deficit when we were not at war, not in a recession. So we've been trying to bring down the spending, and we are going to grow the revenue side. So we are going to grow the GDP faster than the debt grows, and that will stabilize the debt to GDP, which even Secretary Yellen and I agree is the most important number.
Yeah, of course. We all knew that. We all knew that. Those of us who are, pretty hip on economics.
The ratio between the debt and GDP, you're saying?
Yeah.
I'd like to see that.
Yep.
Boy.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
We need that.
He also addressed the Qatari plane situation. And it went a little something
You're a hard-nosed
like
businessman. Even if Qatar isn't asking for anything in return now for the jet, I mean, that's a bill that could come due. Nobody in the Middle East gives things just to, or anywhere in the world, just gives a $400 million jet just to be nice.
Well, I don't know, Jake. The French gave us the Statue of Liberty. The British gave us the Resolute desk. I'm not sure they asked for anything in advance. And the more important airplane deal was there's $100 billion of orders from Qatari Airlines to Boeing. Kelly Ortberg, the CEO of Boeing, was with us in the Middle East. This is the biggest order in the company's history. So, I think that plane deal is much more important than this other one.
Well, I will just say about the Statue of Liberty, I mean, that was authorized by Congress, and it belongs to the American people. It doesn't belong to whoever was president at the time.
Well, I think that this plane would be a gift to the American government.
Yeah, except for it goes to the Trump library at the end of his term. But that, I mean, I don't know. The whole Qatari situation is troubling to me because I don't trust them. You know, they support terrorism. They're big supporters of Hamas and Hezbollah, and I don't know. It is.
But Bessent was ready
suspect.
for that question.
Yeah, he was.
He had an answer.
Yeah, he was. Yeah.
Oh, goodness.
Is there a difference, though, between getting a gift from France or a gift from Qatar? Yeah. I think there's a bit of a difference. I don't know. In the wake of President Trump's visit to the Middle East, CNN's Scott Jennings appeared on Bill Maher's show Friday night.
Now we have the Trump doctrine, which is, I think, as much of a departure as any doctrine a president has ever promulgated. Because what he is saying is, and I'll give you some of the quotes, is in the end, the so-called nation builders wrecked far more nations than they built. This is his speech in Riyadh. Interventionists were intervening in complex societies that they did not even understand. Now, I got to say, this is something people on the left said about Vietnam, societies we did not even understand. We said it about Iraq. What are we doing here?
Something about the Republican doctrine that is fascinating to me. I've been in the party for 25 years, working in it. We've always been war and peace. I think Trump has changed it to peace and war. He talks about peace more than he talks about war. He's still hawkish enough to bomb people that need to be bombed, like the Houthi rebels. But I get the feeling he's responding to all these new inflows of constituents to the Republican Party. Maybe they were Democrats before. Maybe they weren't even political before. But they would much rather hear an American president talk about peace. And the banner in the Middle East at his rally this week said, "Peace through strength," which is probably one of the most enduring slogans from the Reagan era. He doesn't agree with them on everything, but on that, I think he's right. But putting peace ahead of war, pretty popular with the American people. I was on this.
Yeah.
Big applause for Trump at the old Bill Maher.
How about that, huh?
Studio audience.
Yeah, that's nice.
Yeah, that's good.
Speaking of the president, here was a clip Newsmax had of a New Yorker detailing her chance experience with the president before he was president, like 20 years ago?
Yeah, these stories always leak out because when Trump does something nice for somebody, he doesn't send out a press release. He doesn't talk about it. And these stories just come out here and there from different people. And they're all, the common thread is that he's just a good person and he treats people with kindness. And I just love it when you hear something like this.
Today we were out asking New Yorkers about the Tish James probe, doing a little interview right there by Grand Central in Manhattan, and we met a woman named Debbie who's been living in New York for 50 years. And this woman blasted Tish James, said she loves Trump, says Trump saved her life one night in New York long before he was president, back in the Apprentice days. Told us quite a story. Take a listen.
Trump saved my life, literally. My dad and my mom passed at the same time. I was in a bad place. I was going towards the Brooklyn Bridge. Don't ask me why, but I was. Donald Trump was standing on 97th Street in Broadway. He was at a friend's birthday party. And when he saw me coming past, I was hysterical and teared. And he gently grabbed my arm. He was like, "Whoa, wait a minute, are you okay?" And he said, "Well, I don't know what you're gonna do right now, but whatever it is, forget about it. Take it out of your head. Your mom and dad wouldn't want that." And he talked to me till I forgot all about what I was gonna do. So he said, "Let me pray for you." So when I went to get my keys out of my pocket, And I opened my hand. He had placed a folded up, real small, folded up $100 bill in my hand. I framed it, literally, and this is a true story. He saved my life. Yeah, he did. So anybody that has anything bad to say about Trump, dead it, because he's a good man.
Wow. That's a dang good story about Donald Trump.
Sure is, man.
Jeez.
And you hear about
And you hear that kind of stuff all the time.
Yes.
All the time.
That's great.
For him to stop a total stranger like that who looks distraught, give her $100, you know.
Pray for her?
Pray for her. Yeah, the praying for her. Yeah. That's awesome. Wow.
Good man.
Yeah.
I think so.
All right. Let me tell you about Beam. They are proudly founded in America. They're run by people who share our values, hard work, integrity, delivering results. It's a healthy nighttime blend packed with science-backed ingredients which are shown to improve sleep so you can wake up refreshed and ready to take on the day. Dream is made with a powerful blend of all-natural ingredients, reishi, magnesium, theanine, apigenin, and melatonin. It's designed to help you fall asleep, stay asleep, and wake up feeling amazing. Unlike other sleep aids, there's no next day grogginess, just great restful sleep. Here's the deal. Beam is giving my listeners the Ultimate Patriot discount of up to 40% off. So you can try their best-selling Dream Powder, which really works, tastes great too, and you'll get up to 40% off for a limited time. Go to shopbeam.com, use the promo code PAT at checkout. That's shopbeam, B-E-A-M, shopbeam.com/PAT. And use the promo code PAT to get 40% off. You'll sleep better, you wake up stronger, and show up ready for your family, your work day, and your country. Because when you're well-rested, you're unstoppable, and this country needs more people like that. Shopbeam.com/PAT.
Pat Gray Unleashed now continues.
So a rough weekend weather-wise. We're in that tornado period of time, and there were some deadly tornadoes over the weekend. At least 28 people died in tornadoes that swept through Kentucky and Missouri. Wow.
Yeah. Bad stuff. In fact, one of the tornadoes I was reading about was on the ground for nearly 2 hours, and I think it traveled like over 50 miles. Just, I can't imagine that coming at you. So
yeah, really sad. So yeah, our thoughts and prayers are with people in Kentucky and Missouri and wherever these tornadoes hit. If you can, we would really appreciate a donation to mercuryone.org. At Mercury One, all of the proceeds go to helping people in situations like this. So if you give to, say, the storm in North Carolina from last year, or to the tornado situation now, all of those proceeds go to where you want them to go to. Mercuryone.org. First, like almost always, one of the first on the scene. So they just do incredible work. And we appreciate any help that you can give. There was a little bit of a blow to the Trump administration on the immigration front on Friday. The Supreme Court maintained a temporary block on the Alien Enemies Act deportation. So I guess the Supreme Court wants more Tren de Aragua gang members to stay here in the United States.
You got to give them enough time to pack.
Yeah.
Before they're escorted out of the country.
All right. Wow, it was a 7-2 vote, though.
Yep.
Wasn't even close.
Thomas and Alito.
Jeez.
Yeah.
Really?
Oh, there you go.
Holy cow.
They have.
Isn't that something?
Yeah, isn't that something? Amy Coney Barrett.
It's always Thomas and
John
Alito.
Robert. Yeah.
Those are the two really reliable conservatives on the court.
Yep. So
And
there you go.
Amy Coney Barrett is she's been surprisingly bad. Really. She's not bad on every issue, but she's bad on enough that you're like, okay, here we go again. Why do we have to go through this again? With somebody we thought was really hardcore conservative. And she just hasn't turned out to be that. And neither is Kavanaugh. Or Gorsuch. And we
or Roberts.
Or, well, certainly Roberts is long gone.
Yeah, there's a disturbing chick block on the court right now. You got the four chicks.
The chick block?
Chick block, right? I mean,
right.
I mean, Coney Barrett is joining Ketanji Brown Jackson and Sotomayor and Kagan a little too often for my liking.
Too many times.
Yeah, and I mean, look, I understand the whole due process thing. I absolutely do. But,
me too.
But, it's not like these aliens didn't enter the country by giving us notice.
Right.
I mean, like if they stood in line and gone through the due process on the other side, maybe I'd have a little more sympathy for them on the getting deported side. But
no.
Get out.
Vice President J.D. Vance and Secretary of State Marco Rubio, who are both Catholic, they were at the Vatican again yesterday to hear Pope Leo give his first Mass. And this was Vice President Vance afterwards. Or during.
Yeah.
And there he is meeting him, shaking his hand.
That's cool. Look at that.
There you go.
There's been a lot of signs that Pope Leo is going to be a lot more common sense than we originally anticipated.
I think so, yeah. But there's, Okay. Well, he called for greater global unity. Okay. And denounced the harms of unchecked capitalism.
Yeah.
See, it irritates me. He said, in our time, we still experience too much discord, too many wounds caused by hatred, violence, prejudice, fear of others, and an economic model that exploits the earth's resources and marginalizes the poorest. I mean, why do these guys, Francis and now Leo, why do they keep harping on capitalism? Have you seen the effects of socialism and communism? Has any pope noticed what communism has done on this planet? We all know capitalism is not perfect, but it's by far the best system ever employed by mankind. Certainly no marginalization or exploitation happens with socialism or communism. Right? I mean, everybody thrives under those two systems.
Yeah.
The poor are just doing so well under communism.
Yeah. And to your point, when we learned it was going to be Pope Leo XIV and he was inspired by Pope Leo XIII, who was in the late 1800s, I was looking back at some of the Pope Leo XIII stuff, and he was against crony capitalism, and exploitative capitalism, which, you could, I think we all are, right?
Yes.
But he was also, Pope Leo XIII, was also against communism and socialism. So it's my hope that Leo XIV is also like that.
Pick up on that, please.
And hopefully you can be against crony capitalism and socialism, which I hope
of course, and we all are. I think everybody is, right? When capitalism works the way it's supposed to, it's great. It brings people out of poverty. It's, it has been the biggest driver of wealth in the history of this planet.
Brings people out of poverty.
It's pulled people out of poverty by, instead of 90% poverty rate, there's like a 15% poverty rate.
Yeah.
And that's because of capitalism.
And the new pope definitely is all about one man, one woman as far as family. He's pro-life.
Yes,
so
there
really
have been some signs.
There.
I don't want to take that away from him.
I'm a little nervous. He's already met J.D. Vance, who was the last person to see the previous pope alive. It was
right.
J.D. Vance.
Yeah.
Pat Gray Unleashed.
Pat Gray is here on the Blaze Radio Network.
And welcome to it. Got some things going on at the FBI. FBI Director Kash Patel and Assistant Director Dan Bongino sat down with Maria Bartoloma and discussed the future of the agency.
Look, the FBI is 38,000 when we're fully manned, which we're not. In the National Capital Region, in the 50-mile radius around Washington, D.C., there were 11,000 FBI employees. That's like a third of the workforce. A third of the crime doesn't happen here. So we're taking 1,500 of those folks and moving them out. Every state's getting a plus up. And I think when we do things like that, we inspire folks in America to become intel analysts and agents and say, we want to go work at the FBI because we want to go fight violent crime and we want to get sent out into the country to do it. And that's what we're doing. In the next 3, 6, 9 months, we're going to do that hard. And, I didn't know that I was going to do this, but I'm going to announce it on your show anyway. This FBI is leaving the Hoover building because this building is unsafe for our workforce, and we want the workforce.
You just gave up a big nugget
we want the American men and women to know, if you're going to come work at the premier law enforcement agency in the world, we're going to give you a building that's commensurate with that. And that's not this place.
Wow. Huh. Is it falling down? Is the Hoover building falling down?
Well, he said, I'm not going to get into the specifics, but it's just not safe.
I
don't know.
Interesting.
I wonder.
Okay.
I don't know if that's is that an issue with building codes or
security?
Yeah, I wonder if there's something.
Yeah,
Is it bugged? Is it? You know what I mean?
I don't know. That's weird.
Yeah,
it's interesting.
That's very interesting.
We got a lot more here. We'll get to it in just a second. First, let me tell you about Tri-Tails beef because Memorial Day is coming soon. The flags are already flying and your grill is calling. But if you're still buying grocery store beef, yeah, your grill's probably going to be filing for divorce soon. But the good news, there's still hope because Tri-Tails beef is the real deal. A Texas ranch, family-run, pasture-raised, grain-finished Black Angus beef. That's what you'll get. And when your grill finds out that's where your beef is coming from, it'll be incredibly faithful and true to you forever. Tri-Tails beef isn't just another label in the meat aisle, and their beef is raised with a love that you can actually taste. From the marbling to the tenderness to that rich, clean flavor, Tri-Tails beef stands up to anything out there, and your grill knows the difference. And if that isn't enough to get you excited about Tri-Tails, let me tell you about their latest special. Right now, you can get $20 off their ribeye and New York strip special. So if you go to trybeef.com/Pat Gray, they'll even throw in a free pound of steak tips. Why? Because they believe in meat. And second chances, they don't insult your grill. Feed your grill right. Trybeef.com/Pat Gray. And this is something you're going to absolutely love. They will not let you down. Tri-Tails beef. So it's trybeef, T-R-Y, trybeef.com/Pat Gray.
This is Pat Gray Unleashed.
Yeah, it is. So back to Kash, Patel, and Dan Bongino talking to Maria Bartoloma. How do you say her name?
Bartolomo.
Yeah, Bartolomo.
Yeah.
I don't know why. I always want to put an A there at the end. I'm not sure why. But anyway, they were talking about the Jeffrey Epstein situation, whether or not he committed suicide. This is interesting.
You said Jeffrey Epstein committed suicide. People don't believe it.
Well, I mean, listen, they have a right to their opinion, but as someone who has worked as a public defender, as a prosecutor, who's been in that prison system, who's been in the Metropolitan Detention Center, who's been in segregated housing, you know a suicide when you see one, and that's what that was.
He killed himself. You want me to get... I've seen the whole file. He killed himself.
I know it's hard work.
Okay. He killed himself. He's seen the whole file.
Okay.
He killed himself.
Probably. Sure.
Okay.
Whatever.
I mean, maybe we're all nuts when we look at the at things like his initial suicide attempt, and then so they removed him from the suicide watch right before he committed suicide. So he'd already tried it once.
Okay.
And they put him on suicide watch. And then they decided, you know what? Nah, I'm sure he won't try it again.
That was a one-off.
Let's just take him off the suicide watch, and we won't worry about it.
I've often seen pictures of Jeffrey Epstein's ears, like while he was alive, and as they were dragging him away on the gurney there. And I've never really stopped and just zoomed in or anything. But somebody posted it underneath that clip on Twitter over the weekend, and I actually took the time to zoom in and look, and those ears are completely different, bro. Like, I don't even know if that was him. I mean, seriously, I don't know anymore, man. But the ears definitely look completely different from when he was alive than when
I don't
he
know
was
anything about the ear situation.
Yeah, well,
but
you look into that.
But I do know they took him off suicide watch. I do know they didn't assign him a cellmate, which you normally do for suicidal people. There were staffing shortages. There were negligence. There was a malfunctioning of the surveillance cameras.
Yeah,
right
yeah.
in his area.
Yeah.
The others seemed to be fine, but not in his area, so they couldn't really see what was going on. He had a broken hyoid bone in his neck and fractures that are more common with strangulation than hanging. But I'm sure all of that's wild coincidence. Just one coincidence after another.
Don't forget the guards were online shopping.
Yeah, they were on. That's right.
Instead of watching the cameras.
Right.
Because,
crap. Oh, man.
I don't know, man.
I mean, the story's changed a number of times, but I guess it's all coincidence, right? Because Dan Bongino's, he's seen the file, and
Can we play
it was suicide.
Play the Bongino part again. Because I want to see something here. Can we just play Bongino's answer here? I want to see if I can pick up on anything here.
And that's what that was.
He killed himself. You want me to? I've seen the whole file. He killed himself.
I know it's hard work.
Okay, all right. And Bongino is. I love Dan Bongino. I loved his show. I love how.
You like him personally?
Absolutely. Greatest guy. I've just never seen him to be that soft-spoken in any answer about anything. The end. That's all. I don't know. I don't know if there's anything to that. I've just never seen him that quiet and that soft when he's speaking.
Yeah.
The end.
I don't know. I really don't know.
I don't either.
It just there was too many things, and they didn't address any of that. If you would have at least said, "Yeah, I know there's an awful lot that looks very suspicious here," but once you dive into all the details, you see that, yeah, he did this. A lot of things went wrong at the time, but he committed. I mean, explain it a little bit better, maybe. I don't know. It just seems like they are blowing it off, and they're playing that game where, okay, you can believe what you want if you're a conspiracy theorist, but we've seen the actual evidence.
Okay, fine. Let's say he did. All right, where are the files then? Let's just...
Right.
We need those, don't we, if we really want closure on this?
We sure do. Kash also explained how corrupt the FBI was when they took over and what they're doing now to change that.
Look, I can speak to the folks that were in our seats, our predecessors, and they intentionally failed the American public by putting on the biggest DC deception game we've ever seen. They said the FBI was the most storied institution for law enforcement, and it was. And it will be again very soon. But when the likes of Comey and McCabe and Strzok and company came in here with the James Bakers of the world and intentionally lied to a federal court only to rig a presidential election by lying to the American public and using taxpayer dollars, likely illegally, to fund this entire operation, and then withhold exculpatory information from a federal court that I used to appear before to manhunt terrorists, that's what broke the FBI. And then when they were caught, they lied about it. And you and a few others like Dan and others were brave enough to cover it 6, 7, 8 years ago. And we're still talking about it today because as Congress is working rigorously with us, the Crossfire Hurricane documents are coming fast and hard. And they're being sent there unredacted so we can have full accountability. And that's how you restore what the trust that was lost to the American public when it comes to the FBI.
Yeah, but come on, Director, with all due respect, we've been talking about this for a long time, and I've been demanding accountability for many, many years. One of you mentioned Comey, Strzok, and the rest. They've got TV shows. They've got media platforms. They're fine. There's been no accountability.
Well, look, it's a fair criticism, but what I will tell people is we weren't here in the FBI in the last 5 years when we had statute of limitations that were still in play, where we could have investigated criminal conduct. Most of these statute of limitations are 5 years old. And we will investigate criminal conduct where we find a righteous case to do so, and the law and the facts allow us to. But a lot of it we're precluded from. So we'll take the criticism, and it's rightfully so, that could we have done more in the past Sure, people before us could have, but what we can do now is continue to put out the documents and the information that these people withheld from the American public. And I'm just telling you right now, as much as we know about Crossfire Hurricane, he and I just found out more last week. And we're continuing to work with Congress to put those documents out. That's how vindictive and vicious the former leadership structure here was. Not only did they bastardize the FISA process and lie to the American public, they withheld and hid documentation and put it in rooms where people weren't supposed to look. And it's a good thing we're here now to clean it up, and you're about to see a wave of transparency.
What do you mean?
Just give us about a week or two.
Okay. Well.
Okay. And then what? And then a week or two after that? And then another month or two, and then 2 or 3 more months after that.
Didn't he say something about first day?
Yes, yes, he did. That's why I'm ready to stop hearing about transparency and start seeing it. You know, that's kind of where I am. Show me. Don't tell me you're going to do it. Just do it.
All right,
and then let me know. Okay.
All right, I'll give you 2 weeks, Kash.
2 weeks.
I'm button on my calendar, Monday, June 2nd. Kash, FBI.
Okay.
Releasing.
Transparency.
Docs.
Yeah.
Crossfire.
Okay.
Hurricane.
Crossfire Hurricane. Coming out. All right.
All right, we got it.
And then hopefully the Epstein thing, we'll get that.
Oh, yeah, let me
everything
put
else
that
that's
on the
been
calendar
lacking.
back where it was promised.
Yeah.
I'm just flipping back here to, what is that, March, February, January.
It's a while ago. Speaking of the FBI and former director James Comey, he posted that 8647 thing last week.
So a death threat to the president.
Supposedly, yeah.
Calling for violence.
86, president number 47 is what the meaning of that is. And 86, of course, is like you get rid of. Let's 86 that. And that came from a mob reference where you drive somebody 8 miles out of town and bury him 6 feet deep. That's what that's from.
That's awesome.
That's where the saying 86 came
cool.
from.
I didn't know that part.
You didn't know that?
I didn't know that part.
Yeah. So I'm sure he didn't mean that at all.
No,
right?
James Comey's proven to be a mature, professional.
And that's the thing. This is the former director of the FBI. He knows better than this. So the Secret Service showed up.
Okay.
And asked him about it at least. Yeah. I'm glad at least they showed up at his doorstep.
Yeah, they took him downtown and then no charges.
And no charges, of course.
Not.
But, because I'm sure he's, just kidding around. I meant 86. That just meant make him leave. That's all. Okay. I mean, this is a guy, and everybody's yelling about freedom of speech. It doesn't include threats to the president of the United States. You can't do that. You can't make threats against the president and not have the Secret Service show up. Or at least you shouldn't be able to. I don't know if they cover every single threat, but I think they try to. And so anything they ever take seriously or see,
well, I mean,
they got to track it down at least and talk to the guy.
The government took concerned parents at PTA meetings a lot more serious than they seem to be taking.
Yeah, that's
a
right.
direct threat to the president of the United States by a former FBI director.
Yeah,
that's for sure.
It's unbelievable.
Yeah,
this guy's been a pain in the anus for
anus pain
way too long.
we have the Trump clip, right, of him addressing this last night.
Okay.
He knew exactly what that meant. A child knows what that meant. If you're the FBI director and you don't know what that meant,
yes, of course
that
he
meant
did.
Assassination.
Yep.
And it says it loud and clear. Now, he wasn't very competent, but he was competent enough to know what that meant. And he did it for a reason, and he was hit so hard. Because people like me, and they like what's happening with our country. Our country's become respected again, and all this. And he's calling for the assassination of the president.
Obviously, he apologized and said he wasn't calling for violence. But
look, he's a very bad.
What do you want to see happen? What do you want to see happen?
I don't want to take a position on it because that's going to be up to Pam and all of the great people. But I will say this: I think it's a terrible thing. And when you add his history to that, if he had a clean history, he doesn't. He's a dirty cop. He's a dirty cop. And if he had a clean history, I could understand if there was a leniency, but I'm going to let them make that decision.
Okay. By the way, did he delete his entire
Entire, yes.
Instagram account?
Yep.
Wow. So.
Shoot, where am I going to go for my daily dose of wisdom now? The James Comey Instagram account is no more?
It's no more.
Oh.
No more walks down by the beach, which is the only thing that he always posted on his social media. Such a weirdo.
That's amazing that you know that. Did you follow James Comey?
Yes.
No, of course you did. Of course, because why not?
And his Thread account. I followed it all.
Yeah. All right. Good. Well,
I
good.
bet he was on Blue Sky.
Oh, definitely.
Oh,
you
for
bet he was
sure.
at Blue Sky.
I bet. By the way, the FBI investigating that bombing out at the fertility clinic in California. Apparently, the guy's manifesto. He never consented to being born, so therefore, a bomb had to be detonated at the clinic.
Unreal.
Yeah.
Good golly. All right. This Memorial Day, there's a story about grit, redemption, and just good old-fashioned family values that hits the screen, and you don't want to miss it. From Angel Studios, it's this is the studio behind King of Kings, Homestead, and Sound of Freedom. It's The Last Rodeo. It's an action-packed story of a retired rodeo legend who straps back in for one last ride, risking it all to save his grandson. He's the oldest rider to ever enter the arena. The movie's about healing broken bonds, facing the past, and proving that real courage means fighting for the people you love. It's an excellent movie. I think you're going to love this. It's raw, it's heartfelt, and it might just leave you tearing up under that cowboy hat. Also, Neil McDonough is in it, and he's great. Just an excellent actor. He was in Suits. He's been in a lot of different things. You've seen him a million times. Theaters are selling out fast, so hurry up and order your tickets right now. Go to angel.com/unleashed and get your seats for The Last Rodeo in theaters starting on Friday, this coming Friday, May 23rd. So do that right now. Go to angel.com/unleashed and get your tickets now.
Pat Gray will return after this.
You pooped in your pants?
I pooped my pants.
Got a few tweets here. Let's see. Fat Lump of Goo tweets, if it was okay for pudding brains to ignore SCOTUS on student loans, it's okay for Trump to ignore SCOTUS to protect U.S. citizens.
I mean, right? Welcome to America.
Uh-huh. Yep. It's tit for tat now. Speaking of pudding brains, he's got an Instagram post about his cancer.
Okay.
And
Aw.
he says, cancer touches us all. Like so many of you, Jill and I have learned that we are strongest in the broken places. Wait, what? What does that mean? You're strongest in the broken places. Okay.
He's pudding brains, don't forget.
Mm-hmm. So if you break your arm, that's where you're the strongest? Is that what I'm... Okay.
Well, actually, when he has a stutter problem.
Yeah, he does. That's right.
The stutter
He's got a
problem.
lifelong stuttering problem.
Gotcha. So, I mean, when your arm heals, then it's
That'd
stronger.
be strong.
So,
yeah.
So good luck on healing, I guess. And what's his post again? Put that up there. What did he say?
And then the end is, thank you for lifting us up with love and support.
Okay.
Isn't that nice?
Cancer
He has a
touches-
cat that
Isn't
is
that nice?
so stupid.
Cancer touches us all. The way Joe Biden, as you can, don't forget, y'all. This is Joe Biden, guy who touches every female that he comes into contact. This is also Joe Biden. Don't forget, y'all. He's the guy who ranted against half of Americans in Philadelphia a few years ago. That's one lie that came back to haunt him was his curing cancer lie. Remember, he said, if I become president, we'll cure cancer. Well,
yeah, he didn't. And he didn't.
Here we are.
Over the weekend, the president posted this on social media. He said, I will be speaking by telephone to President Vladimir Putin of Russia on Monday at 10 a.m. The subject of the call will be stopping the bloodbath that is killing on average more than 5,000 Russian and Ukrainian soldiers a week and trade. I'll be speaking to President Zelensky of Ukraine and then with President Zelensky, various members of NATO. Hopefully, it will be a productive day. A ceasefire will take place. Oh, wow. And this very violent war, a war that should have never happened, will end. God bless us all.
Wow. That's a lot going on there. So a lot of phone calls starting in about 90 minutes from now.
So hope he's right. I hope he can pull that off.
Please.
And, of course, the AI babies have reached the Trump-Zelensky meeting in the Oval Office from February where they had that little problem.
Okay.
There was a little issue there. But now it's babies. Now it's babies in the Oval.
You got to be more thankful because let me tell you, you don't have the cards. With us, you have the cards. But without us, you don't have any cards.
I love it.
Oh, man.
Good stuff.
That thing is just going to be hammered to death. That baby thing.
It has not run its course yet. I mean,
no, it hasn't. It hasn't.
Everywhere.
I do love the baby thing.
Yeah.
It's fun.
Uh-huh.
It's fun. Has there been another episode of the baby
there has.
podcast?
I haven't sent it in, but there's a third one.
Is it
really
funny?
Good.
Is it good?
I think it's a little too nasty for your liking to talk about poop too much.
I had the same thought, Chris. I thought
I was like,
Pat
I think
doesn't
this
like
is
poop
pushing
jokes.
it for Pat because there's so much poop talk and poop talk and gross talk.
Pat
so I don't know.
hates
I don't know.
poop talk and poop jokes more than anybody I know.
Except for this.
You pooped in your pants.
I poop my pants.
That's the one.
That's the exception.
That's the one exception. And it's not a joke. It's just him
You pooped in your pants.
admitting.
Maybe that's why you like
poop
it.
my pants. That's why I liked it.
It's Al Roker talking about
I
what
poop my
happened to him at
pants.
the White House. Oh my gosh.
But the new episode, I think, is a little too much. For
Is it?
I mean, we could play it if you want.
They've all been about pooping his pants.
Yeah,
pretty
but this
much.
one's kind
but
of
this one is.
There's a
Yeah,
lot.
they
You know what it
leaning too
is,
much into
Chris?
that
Here's
now.
what it is, Chris. It's the way he describes it. It's like it's not just I'm a baby and I poop in my pants. It's I've got peanut butter, avocado, mushiness and stuff or whatever.
Ugh.
So
nasty.
See, told you we shouldn't send in 3. Hey, look at that. See, Chris and I are looking out for you.
But yes, a new episode dropped.
Okay, good. Is the dog with him again?
Oh,
Yes.
yeah.
He's interviewing the dog?
Yes, and the dog fascination with smelling urine is a little too gross.
Oh, that is. So, yeah, this sounds like an icky episode.
It was. But it was fun.
Yeah. All right. So when you subscribe to Blaze TV, not only do you get really good poop talk, but you're supporting a movement. And not just a bowel movement either.
Oh, no.
You're backing creators who think for themselves. They speak boldly and refuse to be silenced by big tech or corporate media. You support investigative journalism that exposes corruption and original documentaries that shine a light on the deep state. So it's everything the networks won't show you, delivered on your terms, when you want it, where you want it, anytime, anywhere. And it starts at just $8 a month, the price of a fancy cup of coffee. So just go to Blaze TV, use a promo code PAT at checkout at blazetv.com/Pat. blazetv.com/Pat. Promo code PAT to save $20.
Pat Gray Unleashed.
One believes?
Have you noticed that the left has taken to calling Kristi Noem Ice Barbie? Yeah, because she's the head of Immigration and Customs Enforcement and Homeland Security, and she's attractive.
So it's okay to belittle women?
Yes. That's what I love about it.
Okay.
As usual, it's okay to disparage somebody based on their appearance if that someone happens to be a Republican. Then it's
Gotcha.
fine.
That's
Perfectly fine. Yeah. If Kristi Noem were a Democrat, they would celebrate her like she was the second coming of Cleopatra. I mean, they would. Do you remember how they just talked about Michelle Obama's arms? I mean, they couldn't praise any other part of her body, but her arms were magnificent. Look at her arms. And they fell all over themselves talking about her arms. But they actually have no real values or principles. Just hate. Just hatred is their only principle. Hatred for the right. That's all they have. It's really despicable.
Sure is.
And Kristi Noem's doing a good job, by the way. I mean, the only thing they have is to call her the Ice Barbie. Has she done anything badly there so far? I don't think so. But they're waiting. Oh, they're standing by and they're hoping for it. Meanwhile, Hillary Clinton was at an event over the weekend where she was mocking women, essentially, who choose to have children. It's cut 14.
As I posted the other day, this very blatant effort to basically send a message, most exemplified by Vance and Musk and others, that, what we really need from you women are more children. And what that really means is you should go back to doing what you were born to do, which is to produce more children.
Pause it for a second.
They are talking.
What a long way to the well this is.
I know.
Where's she even getting this? What they're really saying is that they want to hit you with a club and drag you by the hair back to their cave, and put you back in the cave kitchen, and where you're having babies and you're barefoot and you're cooking all day. Who is saying anything like this? Who's even talking about having babies? Nobody. Is Vance? Is J.D. Vance talking about that? When did he ever? I haven't heard him talking about that.
During the campaign, I think he said something just like we need,
children,
more kids in this country.
Birth rates. Yeah, if maybe we can at least get to the replacement rate.
Right,
that might be a good thing.
So a couple things. You asked. Elon Musk is always talking about the birth rates, and hell, he's trying to take care of it on his own.
Yes, he is. That's why he's got 14 children.
15, Pat.
15.
A couple of things here as well is Hillary Clinton is a Democrat, and I thought, when's she going to say, guys, step up, you can get pregnant, you can have babies? Where's that point?
Where is that point?
And then the last thing I'll say is what you're listening to is Hillary Clinton unknowingly lay out the replacement theory. Because she continues. It's okay for certain people to have babies, just not American citizens.
Really? We're going to go down that road?
Yeah, we definitely are going down that road.
Talking about, cash benefits for the more children you have. This has been tried, by the way, in other countries, and it has not worked. Or medals if you have 6 children. While they're contemplating
I should get a medal then. Pause it for a second. Wait. Where's my medal? I've got 6 kids.
Yeah.
It's been a while since I've had one, but I've got 6. Yeah. So where's my medal? I don't have a medal.
That sucks,
I'm
bro.
a little disappointed.
If I get one, because I'm working on number 4 now.
Okay.
So I'm trying to beat your number. So if I get 7,
you got a ways to go, my friend. Yeah, let me know when you get to 7, though.
Okay.
All right, let's listen to this. If we
While
can.
they have no interest in paid family leave or funding quality child care, they're cutting Head Start. I mean, you go down the list of all the programs that support child rearing and the care of children and create, some safety net for women who are in the workforce, the formal workforce, as well as, raising children. So this is another performance about concerns they allegedly have for family life. But if you had read the Heritage Foundation's Project 2025, despite Trump saying he knew nothing about it, if you had read it, it's all in there. It's all in there. Return to the family, the nuclear family. Return to being a Christian nation.
Pause it for a second.
Return.
Okay, so here she is disparaging traditional families. I guess you're supposed to hate family life?
And
is that not what she's saying here?
And she's also saying hate Christianity.
Yeah, hate Christianity, hate family life.
These are all bad things. If Christians have a nuclear family in America,
gosh.
this
is amazing.
She's got a lot more to say too.
Return to being a Christian nation. Return to producing a lot of children.
Oh no! Don't produce children.
Which is sort of odd because the people who produce the most children in our country are immigrants, and they want to deport them. So none of this adds up. But one of the reasons why our economy did so much better than comparable advanced economies across the world is because we actually had a replenishment, because we had a lot of immigrants legally and undocumented. who had a larger than normal by American standards family.
Families.
So this is just another one
That's
of
amazing.
their, make America great again by returning.
What she is saying here is she doesn't want white people to have kids.
Ding, 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 ding.
We don't want white families. We don't want white people. We don't want Americans to have, whether you're black or white, we don't want you to have children. We want people to come here illegally and have children. That's who should be having children, are illegals who come here.
Correct.
Right?
Replacement theory.
Yeah, she just, as you said, she just outlined it. The whole thing right there for you. She about done here?
Yeah, she's about done.
Yeah.
Make America great again by returning to the
agonizing
lifestyles and the economic arrangements of not just the 1950s. I mean, let's keep going back as far as we can.
Let's go back.
And, see what happens.
What? Shut up.
I don't really care, Margaret.
I don't really care, Margaret. Thank you, JD.
Wow.
Man.
She could have been the president of the United States a few times. Thank heaven. I mean, literally. Praise the Lord.
No.
Seriously. Because I do not say that lightly. Wow, did we dodge a bullet there? She would have destroyed this country.
Well, that was the plan, right? It was the Obama-Hillary handoff.
Yep. We would have been destroyed. I mean, we barely survived Joe Biden. And the only reason we did was because we've got Trump now to save it. Wow.
Absolutely.
Wow.
Yep.
Oh, my gosh. All right. Let me take a minute and tell you about a show that is going to start here very soon, taking spiritual warfare seriously. And you really need to hear it. If you're looking for something bold, thought-provoking, and rooted in truth, check out Rick Burgess's brand new series, Strange Encounters. Streaming now on Blaze TV and YouTube. This isn't about ghosts or Bigfoot. It's about the real spiritual battles we face every day. Rick dives into the unseen world through a biblical lens, equipping you with truth and courage for the fight. It's powerful, it's timely, and it's something every believer needs to hear. That's Strange Encounters. Watch it now on Blaze TV at blazetv.com/Pat. You can get $20 off your subscription or find it wherever you get your podcasts. Okay? So go to blazetv.com/Pat and get $20 off your sub. And you can do that right now.
Pat Gray is Unleashed.
By the way, if you're not familiar, that's Rick from Rick and Bubba.
Yeah.
Yeah. So this is Rick's new show. So check that out.
And they're already a couple of episodes already up on the Blaze.
Yeah.
I was checking it out this week.
It's already there.
Good stuff, yeah.
Speaking of old socialists like Hillary Clinton, here was Bernie Sanders on with Stephen Colbert last week. I'll bet this is fun and fresh and exciting.
Why is socialism cool again, Bernie?
Okay, nice premise.
I think people are looking at this country today, and they're seeing incredible greed.
Oh, my gosh.
And they're seeing that in the richest...
Yeah, there's no greed in socialism, right? We know that all the socialist leaders live where their constituents live, right? They're all poverty-stricken people who live in, like, mud huts.
Yeah, all right.
You remember how Saddam Hussein was living? That poor guy, barely scraping by at 150,000 square foot palace. I mean, how do you even... There were 3 people who lived there. Him and 2 others. Then they had their servants.
Yeah.
I mean, can you imagine how cramped that space was?
If Bernie's being honest here, he's about to say, Stephen, it's socialism for thee, but not for me.
Oh, brother.
Because that's exact. I mean, that how many planes?
Yes.
Guy, I mean,
yeah,
how many
right.
houses? I mean,
homes. Yeah. Private jets. He's not. All right. Let's see.
He sucks.
Country in the history of the world, so few have so much, and so many have so little. There is, Stephen, I get around the country. I was just I can go on and on. I was just on
you get around the country in a private plane.
Zoom with some workers in nursing homes. They're working 80 hours a week taking care of their patients. You got people working crazy hours for horribly low wages. People can't afford housing. When I was a kid, the American dream was you are at some point going to be able to own your own house. Young people today no longer believe that is possible. In fact, many of the young people have a lower standard of living than their parents. So I think the young people are looking out there and they're saying, why? With all of this technology, with all of this wealth, why are we not doing better for ordinary Americans than we are? And what the Democrats are lacking now is a vision for the future. And that gets back to a corrupt campaign finance system, the unwillingness to take on the greed of big money interest. And that is, I think, what young people perceive.
Oh, and we're going to get applause.
Oh, yay. Clap
for
clap,
that
clap.
socialist BS. Oh, that is such garbage.
Democrats have done more harm to this nation than any other entity. Period.
Oh, by far.
Period.
By far.
Don't sit up there and act like you have the answer to anything, old man.
Jeez.
Just so destructive. Every policy.
Oof. But they've gotten worse, too, instead of better. The Democrats just keep going toward the left. They just keep going further afield than they were before. Instead of going back toward the middle, instead of going back toward where Americans are, they keep going toward the Soviets. And they keep thinking that's the answer. We're not communist enough. We're not socialist enough. And so they keep going that way until, people like Bill Maher can't even hang with them.
Right. And they have their own theme song, too, I hear. Is that right?
They sure do.
Oh.
Goes a little something like this. Very stirring song, though.
Yeah,
really,
that's
get the blood pumping in the morning.
Isn't that where Bernie spent his honeymoon?
That's where he went. Yep, that's where he honeymooned.
In
Moscow, Soviet Union. Loves it.
Loves it.
He said many times that he loved Russia, the Soviet Union. He's agonizing to about the billionth power. Wow.
So who's more difficult to take? Hillary Clinton or Bernie Sanders?
Oof, that is a tough one.
That is a tough one.
That is really tough. I think Hillary because at least Sanders admits what he is.
Yeah.
Hillary doesn't. And she's a socialist too, but she won't admit it.
Been right on the Second Amendment before too.
Yeah.
So that's
it.
That's all we got for you.
That's it. Then there's Texas Rep Brian Harrison on.
I love this guy. He's the one keeping us updated on what's going on.
Yeah,
now.
that's right. This is the guy.
He's good.
Who has been telling us how they're not doing anything conservative in the Texas legislature.
And so that he's going to update us as the session is closing out here. What a boy. How long's the delay, Chris? What a wasted session. Texas, bye. It's fading.
Thank goodness we're only on every other year with the Texas legislature because every time they come on, they screw things up. And it shouldn't be that way.
Well,
it's a Republican majority. They should be good.
But the Democrats are the ones who got the speaker elected. So that's cool.
True.
But we did. I don't think it's in this video that I sent in here that we're about to watch as he explains what all got accomplished this session.
Okay.
But we did have a mariachi day.
Oh, did we?
The mariachi band was playing in the Capitol, in the
rotunda?
In the deal there, on the floor. It was good. It was really good. Lot getting accomplished down there in Austin. Let's see what Harrison has to say.
Hey, howdy Texans. Brian Harrison here, coming to you from the floor of the House. It's midnight. It's a deadline to pass House bills for this entire session. I just want to let you know that we have not passed or even debated a single bill to eliminate property taxes, even really lower property taxes, to get rid of DEI, to get rid of transgender ideology in our public universities and classrooms. In fact, this body has done the opposite. We have doubled down on the Biden agenda, and we are taxing Texans out of their homes.
Darn it.
to fund
Driving
the
me out of
liberal
my mind.
progressive left's agenda. The Texas House is corrupt. You have been betrayed. You should notice how happy all the Democrats in this chamber are. They're thrilled because they're in charge. Texans, you've been betrayed. I'm sorry. You deserve better.
Yeah, we do.
Do we?
Yeah, we do. How he must be hated in that legislature.
Yeah.
Because who else is doing this? Nobody is showing what's going on in the Texas legislature like he is. That's really something.
So, yeah,
Wow.
so again, no bills even debated on lowering property taxes.
Where's Abbott on that?
Or DEI or transgender nonsense. Where's Abbott?
Dan Patrick. I love Dan Patrick.
Abbott signed a bill. I think he made a big stupid thing on social media today. Texans, I'm signing a bill right now. No capital gains tax. Okay, how about the property
Capital
tax, bro?
gains?
Oh, bro, I'm telling you.
We've got a property tax issue in this state that is second to almost none. I mean, maybe California and New York. I don't know. It might be worse here.
This state is taking a giant step from red to blue. We're not even going to spend time in Purpleville. And that's a lot of electoral votes. Careful.
Yeah.
We're living dangerously here.
Yeah.
It's a combination of things. It's the influx of Californians and it's Texans that got too comfortable and said, come and take it, come and take. Well, they're taking it. They're doing it right now.
Yeah, maybe we shouldn't have challenged them because they did.
It's not good, man.
They did. It's not.
Mm-hmm.
It's really not. Also, just a couple of scattered pieces of information. There was that prison escape that happened in New Orleans with 7 guys that got out.
This is wild, man.
Wow. Cut 22, the prison escape. Check this out.
Tonight, these stunning images from inside a New Orleans jail cell where 10 inmates, some charged with murder,
10,
escaped, sparking an urgent citywide manhunt. The toilet dislodged from a cell wall, exposing an opening. Scrawled on the wall above, "We innocent and too easy," with an arrow toward the hole where they escaped, out of view of the officer on duty. Authorities say it happened just after midnight when the inmates broke a lock on a cell door.
They were still able to exit the jail about 1:01 a.m. After breaching the wall behind a toilet in the
approximately.
jail.
They don't know.
And based on video surveillance, they were seen exiting a door on the docks where we normally bring in supplies, scaling a wall and running across the interstate.
Officials believe the escapees had help.
These detainees received assistance in their escape from individuals inside of our department.
They say the toilet could not be removed with bare hands, suggesting someone inside the jail system may have helped the inmates unscrew it with a power tool.
We are investigating that to see exactly who entered these areas, what kind of work was done, if there was work being done, and if this is an inside job.
Jail officials first noticing the inmates were missing during a routine head count at 8:30 a.m.
Wait, what?
But that's more than 7 hours
It
after
sure is.
they say the
Yeah, I did the
escapees
math on
were
that.
off prison
And,
property and on the run. One of the 10 escapees captured before noon found hiding beneath a car at a hotel in the French Quarter. And moments ago, a second suspect caught with 8 more still on the run.
Okay.
There you go. He looks fun.
He looks fun.
So
there you go. Right? Okay, so that's fun.
All right.
They obviously had inside help. It's too easy, as they said. They're innocent.
They did say we innocent, though.
We innocent, so I mean,
let them go.
Let them go.
Let
Leave
them
alone
go.
at this
They said
point.
they innocent.
7.5 hours between the escape and them getting discovered that they were missing.
And even anybody knew about it. So didn't that make some noise that somebody might have noticed? They tore a toilet out of the wall.
Okay, so you got to see the New Orleans captain, Stephanie Minto-Gibson. I pulled this clip just because. Check out her glasses and tell me what are we doing here?
I strongly encourage all to educate the community on the importance of gun link.
The hell is happening?
This is a free app
it's
that is
on
listed
now.
online, and it is also a guide for victims and survivors
says download
to
the
track
app.
offenders while they navigate the criminal justice system.
Pay no attention to
the
my
number
glasses.
for Vine is
This is the most pointless press conference ever.
Are they Riddler glasses? Is that from Batman or something?
Sorry, it's 1-866.
Oh, she got the number wrong. I'm sorry.
277-7477.
Green Lantern. Those are Green Lantern
we are located
glasses.
here on the 3rd floor of the sheriff's office, and our contact number.
Pause it for a second. Please, you cannot take her seriously with the glasses. Come on now.
What do you
Stop
mean?
it.
Wait, hold on. What do you mean?
Is this a real... This is an action. This isn't AI.
No, this isn't an SNL bit from the weekend. This is, and remember, she's up there to say, download the app, call the number. Oh, I'm sorry, not that number, this number, and we're on the 3rd floor. If you want to come down here.
No, I'm sorry, we're on the 9th floor. No, wait,
okay.
No, it's the 2nd floor.
Oh my word!
Wow. All right, let her finish.
That's a DEI high.
If she isn't already.
827-6754-504.
Is that right?
202-9229. Thank you.
Thank you. Nice glasses.
That's great. Okay,
My
so
goodness.
so we still only have the 2 that have been recaptured.
I think it's only the 2.
Did you see her nails at the end?
No.
Oh,
I want
I
to see
did
her nails.
not.
I didn't see her nails.
Oh, freeze on the
green.
nails.
Let's see this.
Well, they got to match her glasses.
And that's exactly
Do
what
they?
she got
Yeah.
those glasses.
I mean, I'm saying, do they match? Let's see.
Yes, they do.
Can we see the picture here at the very end?
Let's see.
It's the last frame.
Come on.
Last frame. Last frame. Let's see.
All right. And now they're kind of yellow, aren't they?
They're a little lime green.
No, they
Lime
don't
green,
really
okay.
match
Lemon
very well.
lime. Yeah.
No, I'm sorry. That's
You
not
say
matching.
they don't match?
No.
Well, she didn't know they were going to escape, and so she wasn't prepared to match. The glasses are every day. The
Wow.
fingernails.
Give me the green glasses. Green glasses.
That's as close as she could get. I mean,
Ooh-wee. That's good stuff.
congratulations, New Orleans.
Yeah.
Such a great city. Such a wonderful town, that New Orleans, Louisiana.
Man, oh man.
Okay.
They got some issues there.
They do.
8 of them.
Eight are still on the loose. 80% of the inmates who escaped are still on the loose. Congratulations.
But, I mean, how far could they have gone?
Not
by now?
far.
That was
Come
like
on.
3 days ago. Come on.
In 7 hours, they could have been out of the country. I mean, who knows where they are? Jeez, why are you hiding under a car in the
stupid.
French Quarter at a hotel?
You should have gotten caught.
They'll never find me here.
Honestly, if you had
Hello,
just
copper.
walked down the street, you would have been less suspicious.
Yeah,
Then,
right.
You know what? Let me just spend some time under this Ford pickup truck. Good Lord, man.
Try to get me, copper.
And they did. Wow.
We innocent.
Yeah, so, again, leave them alone.
Yeah, let it go at this point.
They
What
said
difference
they
does
were
it make?
innocent. What do you want?
This is Pat Gray Unleashed.